Trustee Fenton?
Here.
Trustee Dodge?
Here.
Trustee Calandrello?
Here.
Trustee Healy?
Here.
Trustee Katsinas? Trustee Malani? Here. Mayor Pico?
Here.
Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Trustee Katsinas apologizes. She had a family emergency, so she can't be here tonight.
Approval of September 3rd, 2019 regular meeting minutes.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Fenton.
move to approve the minutes of the Board of Trustees meeting of September 3rd, 2019.
Second. Any questions or changes? Call the roll.
Trustee Fenton?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Calandrello?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas? I'm sorry. Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Approval of September 9th, 2019 special meeting minutes.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani.
I move to approve the minutes of the Board of Trustees special meeting of September 9th, 2019.
Second. Any questions, comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Trustee Calandrello?
Aye.
Trustee Fenton?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Veterans Commission appointment.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Dodge.
move to advise and consent the appointment of James E. Thompson to the Veterans Commission.
Second.
Any questions or comments? So Jim is filling a vacancy, and he's does a lot of work with our veterans groups already, so that's why he's been nominated, and he volunteered to fill that opening. Call the roll.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Fenton?
Aye.
Trustee Calandrello?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Did you learn that profession?
I state your name. Having been appointed to the office of the Veterans Commission. Village of Orland Park. I will have said. Do solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the State of Illinois. And I will faithfully discharge the duties. Of the office of the Veterans Commission. To the best of my ability.
Okay, Jim, so here's what you do. You sign both of these. And I keep one and you take one.
Okay. Thank you very much for stepping up to serve.
Motions you'll do a good job. So we keep that.
Go ahead.
Proclamation honoring Nothing Bunt Cakes as Orland Park Business of the Month, September 2019.
So this is our third month of having Business of the Month program, and this year, or this month, we're naming Nothing Bunt Cakes as the Orland Park Business of the Month. And I'm going to read the proclamation. Whereas Orland Park's Nothing Bunt Cakes first opened on September 11th, 2014, and whereas Nothing Bunt Cakes is a family-owned business with owners Beth and Bob Feldman, having owned the business and serving the community for the past 5 years. And whereas in 2018, Bob and Beth received the distinguished honor of receiving the Bakery of the Year award for their Orland Park location, which is only given to one bakery across the entire Nothing But Cakes system. And whereas in 2018, Bob and Beth received the Diamond Sales Award, which is given to the highest sales-producing bakeries in the country, in which their bakery in Orland Park finished second in total sales compared to any other bakery in the entire system. And whereas in 2019, Beth and Bob introduced a college scholarship program, which is given to one high school senior on their staff that is attending college. And this year's first winner came from their Orland Park location and given to Amanda Johnson, who attended Sandburg High School. And whereas Beth and Bob make it their mission to bring joy to the community through more than 100 different fundraisers which generate money for local schools and organizations, and more than $150,000 in discounts and cake donations to local charities and organizations each and every year. Whereas in 2017, Nothing Bundt Cakes received the Village of Orland Park Award for Excellence in Business, and in 2015 received the Village of Orland Park's New Business of the Year Award. And whereas in 2015, Bob and Beth received the Rising Star Award, which is given to one new bakery across the entire Nothing Bundt Cakes brand for setting a sales record for a first-year bakery and representing the mission and values of the Nothing Bundt Cakes brand. And whereas Nothing Bundt Cakes participates and highly engaged in many activities within the Village of Orland Park, including the Orland Parks Farmers Market, Taste of Orland Park, most of the Orland Park Chamber of Commerce events, concerts in the parks, more than 30 other festivals, craft shows, fundraising events, and other events around the Orland Park community. And now, therefore, I, Keith Peacock, Village President of the Village of Orland Park, Illinois, and the counties of Cook and Will, do hereby extend the gratitude of the entire community to Nothing Bundt Cakes for more than 5 years of serving the community, and hereby proclaim Monday, September 16th, 2019 as Nothing Bundt Cakes Day in the Village of Orland Park. And I want to personally thank Bob and Beth because they do come to everything. So I personally want to thank Bob and Beth because they come to everything, they support everything, whether it's a Village of Orland Park event or one of our charitable events throughout the town, so we really appreciate it. So come on down and I'll give you this.
Thanks. I was small before you.
Thank you. They're all good supporters. Yeah. I used to not be that big.
Yeah, exactly. Quality tester. Yeah, that's me. Quality tester. Quality tester.
Consent agenda?
Anybody have anything to remove from the consent agenda? I would like to remove item E, so I'll entertain a motion to approve items A through D and F through I of the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
And I guess I have to read it first. But it's moved and seconded. Item A is payroll for September 6, 2019. Item B is accounts payable from September 4th, 2019 through September 16th, 2019. Item C is a replacement of 2 trucks, SPC award. Item D, pavement rejuvenator application 2019 road maintenance program proposal. Item F is the 2020 winter spring recreation program offering listings, which are subject to change based on the final 2020 budget approval and contractual payments approval. Item G is Park Hill Pond Number 1, East Shoreline Restoration and 2020 to 2022 stewardship. Item H, Anthony Drive Pond Shoreline Restoration Expansion and 2020 to 22 stewardship. And item I is Great Egret Pond Shoreline Restoration in 2020 to 2022 stewardship. Call the roll.
Trustee Fenton? Aye. Trustee Canadrello?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Power Wellness Management Contract Renewal?
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Dodge.
move to approve the Power Wellness Management contract to be extended at an additional 3 years from 2020 through 2022. The option to renew for 2 additional years for 23 and 24.
So I took this off the agenda because I have a couple of questions on the contract. So there were there's a bonus of $50,000, I think, in here, and it's based on 3 things. And I was wondering what the net income goal and what the billable member goals are. I know that was sent to me, but what are those goals?
The net income goal before the management fee is $155,000. The management fee would be $155,000, so it would be a net zero after that.
So we set the goals based on them achieving a zero after their, basically breaking even after their management fee. Okay. All right. And then I see that it's, well, I guess the other question I had is what's the billable member goal?
They're projecting at the end of 2020, 4,113 members.
Okay. And then we have a weighting here of 20% for satisfaction survey, which I understand, and 40% financial outcomes, which is the net income, 40% billable member goals. How is that weighting applied, relative to the net income? Like, for example, the 40% weight of financial outcomes, is it you're going to get all 40% of that if your net income reaches the 155,000, you're going to get nothing if you don't? Or how is that set up?
I believe if they hit the metric, they would earn 40% of the $50,000.
But if they don't hit the metric, they get nothing? Okay. And same thing with billable member goals? Okay. And I'm assuming member satisfaction survey, but that seems to be pretty low relative to their current rating, so that doesn't seem like that's really an issue for them to hit that.
They've achieved that every year.
Okay. Are there any other questions on this? So one thing, I'm fine with the contract for the 3 years, but one of the discussions we always have here is, what do we outsource and what do we keep in-house and how do they perform? And we've had this discussion in the Capitol as far as, potentially driving this contract to where it's paying for some of the capital maintenance as well. One of the things that I would like to see over the course of this 3-year contract, so in the next 2 years, is I would like to see a like-to-like comparison with the Sportsplex, because I want to see how this is really performing, because I don't know that we have a comparison here. Does anybody on the board have an issue with that?
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Dodge?
I don't think it makes sense. One of the things that I talked about with staff, but I think there's some unique complexities with Sportsplex because it's essentially a mixed-use facility. Would we ever, based on performance for Power Wellness, expand what we do with them where they manage more of Sportsplex? And I don't know if that's really a good option, but let's put it out there as theoretically possible in the future based on performance.
Yeah, and, alternatively, is Power Wellness performing to the level that the Sportsplex is if we do an apples-to-apples comparison? And if they are not, then we should make the contracts a little more stringent and make them meet those goals.
Yeah, no,
But we need to know what the numbers are, and we don't know what that is. I mean, the good news is it's getting to the point where it's breaking even for the first time, which is great on an operation basis, but let's try and push it to the next level. With that, the question is put. Call the roll.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Fenton? Aye. Trustee Calandrello?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Hearing?
Yep, go ahead.
The hearing?
Yep. So I'll entertain a motion to enter into public hearing for the Akawi residence, 10841 West 143rd Street annexation public hearing.
Mr. Chairman,
I'm sorry. I think Trustee Healy wanted your attention first.
I move to recess for a public hearing at this time.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Mayor and trustees, this is a public hearing for the annexation agreement for the property currently located at 10841 West 143rd Street in unincorporated Cook County. The property is to be annexed is a 4-acre area located at the south side of 143rd Street. The petitioner requests annexation into the village of Orland Park in order to construct a single-family home and to connect to the village water and sewer. The property is to be rezoned R2 residential district subject to annexation into the village. Notice of this public hearing was published in the Chicago Tribune as required by law. Are there any members of the public that wish to be heard on this subject? Are there any members of the public that wish to be heard on this subject? Entertain a motion to adjourn it.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Healy?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Elevated tank number 5 rehabilitation bid award.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani?
I move to approve the base bid, bid alternative number 1, bid alternative number 2, bid alternative number 3, bid alternative number 4, and an additional $20,000 credit for the emission of the red brick band and beige band from Era Valdiva of Chicago, Illinois, and award a contract in an amount of $639,670 plus $63,967 contingency for a total amount not to exceed $703,637.
Second.
Any comments?
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Dodge?
A or B?
It's B.
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Dodge has...
Oh, sorry, I
do you
thought
have
he was
any other
done.
questions?
No,
for
that was it. The
Trustee
motion on
Fenton?
the floor is to approve
Is to
item B.
approve item B, correct?
Although I'm chairman of Public Works, I did talk to legal, they said I could make a motion and do whatever I wanted to do in the vote. I just felt it, I didn't want to do it that way. I'm not happy with either one of them. I think, Rich and I have had a long talk about this. Option A without the trees, I think, looks silly, my opinion. And I think option B is just too plain. It doesn't need any more words or anything, but I think we had an opportunity to do something attractive, in my opinion. So just wanted to get that out. That's why I didn't make the motion.
Any other questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani?
just the one, I have a couple quick questions on the $131,000 for the sandblasting and recoating. This is kind of a extension of the conversation from our last meeting. I see we're still going forward with that. And I had some questions around, the zinc primer and the epoxy paint on the previous paint job, why we couldn't recoat this instead of, power wash or recoat it versus sandblasting and starting over like we're doing.
We went ahead and got
So I went and got in touch with the paint manufacturer, and they do recommend blasting off the clear coat that's on the tank. So it was with that three-part paint finish. They cannot paint over that clear coat. So they said if you're going to go through the trouble of actually removing that clear coat, to actually blast it down to bare metal, reprime it and paint it, that'll give it. So they said the life expectancy would be 15 years. If we do the complete blast, it's going to be 25 plus years.
So we had a paint process that we used that was supposed to have good longevity, and then we added longevity by putting a clear coat on it, which forced us to then have to spend the money to clean it down to bare metal.
Correct.
So kind of putting the cart before the horse there. So, okay. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Dodge?
I guess picking up on Trustee Fenton's comments, and I think this is a prior iteration where
Correct.
the brick and the fade went farther down on the vertical standpipe, I guess we'll call it for lack of a better word. So I never was stuck on the trees, right? And I could see some of the other trustees' point about, the lightly faded prairie grass, but I don't think gets us all the way there, so I'm not happy about this iteration of the design. And from my chair, given that we're $600,000 into investing in something that's going to be visible for an expected life of, 25 years?
Yes.
I would prefer we went back to more of this. That A nor B, I would vote for, is the short version. Say again?
No comments from the floor, please.
Well, I don't know. You guys
Ex-
you have access to your PC if you want.
So it is improper for members of the public to be engaging the board when the board is having a conversation on the issue. Any other comments?
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Healy?
We've already decided on this, I thought. Why are we
But we haven't voted on the white yet.
Okay. Well,
So,
Mr. Chairman, I actually do have a comment then, because if I thought that...
Trustee Malani?
Sorry. Yes, I do have a question. What we'd agreed on in the last meeting was to just come forward with just the white paint scheme and to find out about the longevity of the paint. We weren't going to be given any other options. I thought this was the only option we were going to see at
Well,
this time.
really, there is no other option because you made the motion for item B. So someone could amend the motion if they wanted to. It doesn't sound like anybody wants to. So I think we're fine on that. So I have just a couple of, one question and then a comment. We're only going to paint one side of the logo, correct? We're not doing the other side?
Correct.
How much would it be to paint the other side?
$14,000 to add another logo.
$14,000 so that it's visible from both sides of the water
Correct.
tank. Okay. So I guess the first thing I would do is I would entertain a motion to amend item B to include putting the logo on both sides, logo and name on both sides to be paid for out of contingency. I'll entertain that motion.
So moved. Second.
Okay. So any comments on that? On putting the logo on both sides of it?
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Dodge?
I personally wouldn't have a problem putting the logo on both sides, but I also wouldn't mind figuring out more of the fade. So I think we can work to a compromise here.
Well,
So I'm-
I mean, I think at this point, we're going to have to vote on this one, so.
No, fair enough, but just as a matter of comment, Mr. Mayor, I'd be more than happy to see us put the logo on both, but I'd like to see a change in the design. If the only question in front of us is put the logo on both sides and then call the vote for B, okay. Just want to make sure I understood the motions.
Yep. Any other questions on putting the logo on both sides? So, on the amendment to put the logo on both sides and pay for it out of contingency, call the roll.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Fenton.
No.
Trustee Dodge.
Aye.
Trustee Calandrello.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. Motion carries 5-1. Now on the main motion, so one of the things that Trustee Katsinas had brought up, and she wanted it brought up, is she wanted to float the idea of putting our motto underneath, which is Crown Jewel of Chicago Southland. I know there's there are trustees that disagree with that, and my feeling on that is we'd want to see a mock-up of that, and we could pay for it out of contingency, so it's something we could do at a later date. So there's no reason to amend the motion on this tonight. Any other questions or comments on the white water tower?
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Dodge?
just to make sure I'm clear, so we're now voting up or down on option B, correct?
On option B, correct.
Okay, thank you.
So the question is put to approve the base bid, bid alternate number 1, bid alternate number 2, bid alternate number 3, and bid alternate number 4, and an additional $20,000 credit for the emission of the red brick band and beige band from Era Valdiva of Chicago, Illinois, and award a contract in an amount of $639,670 plus $63,967 contingency for a total amount not to exceed $703,637, and amended to include a logo on both sides to be paid for out of contingency. That question is now put. Call the roll.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Fenton.
No.
Trustee Dodge.
No.
Trustee Calandrello.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. So it's 4-2. Motion carries 4-2.
Invitation or bid for 19-020 cabinet and wayfinding signs.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Dodge?
Move to approve awarding bid 19-020 cabinet wayfinding signs to HWI Capital LLC, DBA as SAR Global Signs from Rochester, New York. Amount not to exceed the annual budget for the wayfinding and branding 2019 and 2020.
Second.
Any questions or comments on that? So my only comment is the business that we're not choosing is an Orland Park business, and Orland Park businesses do get if they're within a certain percentage, they do get chosen, but in this case, they were well off of the bid total, so we're going with, I agree with going with the low bid. Call the roll.
Trustee Dodge.
Aye.
Trustee Fenton.
Aye.
Trustee Calgelo.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. Motion carries.
Nobody signed in.
Nobody signed in. Is there, but does anyone like to address the board? Board comments? Trustee Fenton.
Yes, I'd like to remind everyone that this Friday, September 20th, from 6 to 9 at the museum, we'll be holding a ladies' night for wine. It's a fundraiser for the museum. Members are $35, non-members are $40. It's unlimited food, wine, prizes, and favors and shows. Peace Market is going to be our wine sponsor for this event. And then on September 27th, the following week, is an illusionist, Jeanette Andrews, at 7 o'clock. And with that performance, it'll be wine and refreshments, and members are 25, non-members are 30. And I'd like to thank Sarah once again for applying for the Stellwagen Landmark of Illinois award that we did receive, and we were in big company, and the award will be presented in October. Oh, and also, just like to thank the board for the continued support of the museum and all of our open lands projects that we have out in the village.
Trustee Dodge.
No comments.
Trustee Calandrello.
Just since Bob's still here, I want to congratulate him too. Just personally, I know he's a great business member of the community. Nothing but cakes to deserve it. They're always there for us, so I appreciate that. And also on a sad point, I'm gonna miss the water tower golf balls. The tees. We're no longer going to be the golf capital of the world with these water towels.
I don't think we are any longer the golf capital of the world since about the 90s when all the
Right.
golf courses were built.
I guess it's just a chapter.
Another chapter closed. Trustee Healy.
Well, I would also like to thank Nothing But Cakes for all their participation that they do in Orland. I think it's another Orland Park retail success story, and I think they join a lot of businesses in town that are successful, and I hope we see more of them.
Trustee Malani.
Yeah, I agree with Bill there, that you do a phenomenal job with the community, and we definitely appreciate it. And also, thank you for everyone that went to the Veterans Golf Outing. I was unable to attend, but sounds like we had a great day, and from the pictures, it looked like a great time, so I'm glad everybody's able to attend.
And I, too, want to commend staff and all the veteran volunteers that put on a great golf outing again. I think the number of players were down just slightly, but I think overall we did about the same as far as what we're going to be able to contribute to our veterans group, so it was fantastic. It was a hot but beautiful day, and phenomenal flyby by Lima, and then also our guest of honor, Alan Lynch, who's a Medal of Honor winner, was very good as well, so very nice of him to come out. Additionally, I'd like to point out that our Stellwagen Farm was given the 2019 Landmarks Illinois Richard H. Dreyfuss Foundation Preservation Award. So we're going to be a recipient, and we'll be receiving that, I believe, late in October. So congratulations on that as well. So great job by Open Lands and staff and Trustee Fenton for getting that done. So really appreciate that. And with that, I'll take a motion to go into executive session.
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Fenton.
Move to go into executive session for A, security procedures to respond to a danger to the safety of the public or village staff or property, and B, add a discussion item for executive regarding appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of a specific village employee.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Trustee Fenton.
Aye.
Trustee Calendro.
Aye.
Trustee Dodge. Aye. Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. Roll.
Trustee Fenton.
Here?
Trustee Dodge. Here. Trustee Calendrello.
Here.
Trustee Healy.
Here.
Trustee Malani. Here. Mayor Pico.
Here.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani.
I move to waive the bidding process and approve procurement of software from MindSight for the not-to-exceed amount of $26,712.
Second.
Any comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Dodge.
Aye.
Trustee Fenton.
Aye.
Trustee Calendrello.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Fenton.
Aye.
Trustee Calendrello.
Aye.
Trustee Dodge.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. Adjourn.